So the people that are opposing the ballroom are people that, in my opinion, are very disloyal to our country, very, very disloyal to our country. And I think we're doing very well. We're way ahead of schedule. We're under budget. It's going to be the most beautiful ballroom of its kind. You know, when I was in China, we went to the Great Hall of China. It was this big, beautiful building. And we don't have anything like that. And we have to have that. It's very important.
It's Ken Harbaugh with the MeidasTouch Network. It seems like every day we get another glaring example of how out of touch this president is. His priorities have nothing to do with what the American people actually want. He is literally asleep on the job, which in some ways is a blessing. Imagine if he actually applied himself to the real work of being president. I think that would make things worse. But as it is, we have a wartime commander-in-chief who cares more about ballrooms and gilded statues and turning the Oval Office into a cheap imitation of Saddam Hussein's palace than he does about what the country actually needs. There has never been a better opportunity to show Americans who don't think about politics every day, like I unfortunately do, how little this president cares. There are a few groups doing great work to get this message out. The Save America movement has an entire Donald Trump Hates You campaign, including an airplane dragging a giant banner up and down one of Florida's most popular beaches. And one of the Democratic strategists I rely on for message guidance on this kind of thing is Cliff Schecter, a longtime cable news commentator and host of the growing Substack and YouTube empire Blue Amp Media. I've brought Cliff back on the show to weigh in on just how bad the MAGA messaging operation is going and what Dems need to be doing to make sure everyone knows how unfocused and corrupt the Trump administration truly is. Here's me and Cliff Schecter. What do you make of MAGA's inability to course correct on messaging in the middle of an economy where people are hurting, inflation through the roof, oil hitting $100 a barrel again? They're bragging about literally gilding statues in D.C. The man's obsession with gold. It's weird, right? And the photos from inside the Oval Office, for example, I mean, it looks like... Do we elect Liberace and Saddam Hussein? Oh, we both did it at the same time. Yeah. Right. Sorry, I cut you off. Hussein metaphor. I feel bad. I cut your joke off. Make your joke. I feel bad now. I'm sorry. No, it's everyone. Everyone gets the joke. The joke is the current administration and this total lack of taste. It's a metaphor for a bigger problem, which is a loss of connection, just so out of touch with the American people. And normally when that happens in a political party, the party exerts upward pressure and communicates their anxiety about, say, an upcoming election and says, we need to change what we're doing. We need to course correct. You don't see that in today's Republican Party. And I can't think of another example in American history where a party has been this unresponsive to public sentiment. The only one you're gonna be able to come up with is Southern Democrats, circa 1840s, 50s. And I hate to bring that up because I hope this one doesn't end like that one. But the point is you're exactly right. Look, there's a reason why numerous political scientists over the last, and it's increased over the last 20 years, and certainly on steroids after Trump, said that the Republican Party is no longer a party in a democracy. A normal party. They're closer to Fidesz, which I'm probably mispronouncing, the one Orban's party in Hungary, closer to Erdogan's party in Turkey. They're a party that exists in an authoritarian system. So they can't course correct because it's basically an authoritarian cult. And they have a cult leader who is the weakest, wimpiest, most insecure man alive, who can't be told anything negative ever, or he just cries his little eyes out. So they have to all tell him how great he is, how smart he is, and because he can't be wrong, they have to say he's right. So they won't course correct. They can't course correct because of him and because of their devotion, or at least fear, or whatever it is of him. So in the end, that leaves one thing, as you've said, that leaves them in a place where they're about set to get destroyed in the upcoming election, even though the Senate map is incredibly favorable to them. If you look at it objectively at polling right now, down 5 to Tallarico, down, I think 6 or 7 to Mary Peltola in Alaska, down 8 to Sherrod Brown here. They are set
to get crushed, which should worry everybody, because if this man has shown anything, it's that he will cheat and lie and steal and do whatever it takes to win an election, even foment an insurrection where people are killed. So
yep,
we should be taking that seriously, because they're looking at numbers that we're looking at, his people, and they know they're going to get crushed. And therefore, there's literally no trick they will not engage in.
A quick word before we continue. A lot of people in this audience spent their lives showing up for their families, their communities, their country. Medicare is one of the benefits you earned by doing that. But earning it and actually getting it right are two different things. The system is complicated, and too many of the people offering guidance are paid more to place you in certain plans. The result is predictable. Millions of people quietly overpaying or missing coverage they need. Chapter fixes that. They're the only Medicare advisor that compares every plan in the country. And they're honest. They're not paid to steer you toward any particular plan, so their only job is finding what fits your life. If you're already on the right plan, they'll confirm it, and you're done. It's free, it takes under 20 minutes, and they've saved people an average of $1,100 a year. If you're on Medicare or helping a parent with it, call Chapter at 765-417-4729. You earn this. Make sure you're getting it. That's 765-417-4729 to talk to Chapter. Hey, it's Ken with a quick break to tell you about a new short documentary, Safe Ground, which follows American military veteran Ryan Hendrickson, who I recently interviewed on this show as he leads a mine-clearing team in Ukraine. It's a riveting account of what these crews go through to clear minefields and unexploded ordnance, saving the lives of ordinary Ukrainians and giving them a chance at a normal life. The footage and storytelling are extraordinary. You can watch the film for free on MeidasTouch's partner channel, Valor Media Network. The link is below. Here's a preview of Safe Ground.
It only takes one mistake. You will get yourself or somebody else injured or killed. I know God has a plan for everybody's life, and I do know that you're not going to die before it's your time.
I know what these devices can do to you because I stepped on an IED in Afghanistan.
God doesn't waste pain. Use that pain and that experience to go help other people. Let's go! Civilian casualties from this war are high.
Russian drones target this place.
I got a solid hit. Something's here. We have to understand the dangers, and we have to understand what we're up against. Line!
Let's talk about Democratic messaging and the upcoming election, because I have a potential silver lining. I agree with you that the discipline from the Democratic Party isn't there, the coordination, honestly, just the messaging, sophistication overall. But what you see as an adaptation to address that are individual campaigns raising more than like a state house race in a red district ever has, or, you know, some of these red districts in Ohio, where you have someone like Poindexter now competitive in the Ohio 7th.
Down to
personal experience. It's wild. You have a candidate field that is really outstanding for the midterms. We'll see about 2028. You have the campaigns themselves stepping into the breach where the DNC and the D-Trip are not. And then on messaging, you have them kind of abandoning the national party and just going with what works in their district. And, you know, that might be the answer. It is an example of a political adaptation that the Republicans cannot seem to apply. And it gives me hope. So I'm not.
No, I have hope too. I'm hard on Democrats when it comes to the overall party, when it comes to messaging, because this should be easy. It's marketing 101, and I've been waiting 20 years and singing the same song, screaming the same stuff. Why are we not doing this? Individual candidates, I would argue, I may be on a broadcast with one right now who's done this before, who run and know how to message, can put themselves in great positions. And I would say with the amounts of money being raised, you don't need the national parties much, because somebody like a James Tallarico, who's raising that kind of money, or a John Ossoff, They both are going after the billionaire class and pointing out how Elon Musk owns Donald Trump and all the affordability issues. They couldn't care less about whether you can afford your bills. They can create the messaging themselves. They didn't used to have that kind of money to do that. And so I do have a lot of optimism because in the key races we need, people are very well funded and therefore, and also key swing House races. And so they can go and they can build that narrative with combination of understanding how to work with influencers and how to use digital ads and other creative ways, events that they hold and everything, and not just dump a ton of money as we used to do. And this is coming from a former ad writer into network TV that nobody's watching anymore. And maybe you reach 15% of your voters and way overpay for. So,
yeah. Well, let's leave it on that optimistic note. I do want you back because we do need to autopsy the Democratic Party. They need a lot of help. But
I'm Ken Harbaugh for DNC chair. That's what I am.
No, thank you. The most thankless job in politics. But I do have a lot of hope for this kind of new version of a Democratic Party that is more decentralized, and maybe the party itself just focuses on ground game and recruiting volunteers and candidates and leaves the messaging to those who are actually good at it.
Well, that's helpful.
Big Democratic Party is not.
Yeah, and I'll say just very quickly, we've always had to understand on some level if we're trying to be a big coalition, a big tent, I have issues that are very important to me, near and dear to my heart. I also realize I live in Ohio. So we have to, those realities are, I think we could unite on economic issues, have some slight differences in social issues and some other ones, and still be a very morally based party. And I think we are, and that's where I'd like to be. So,
amen. All right, Cliff, great having you. Let's do it again.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Ken. Thanks for having me on.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.